All right, welcome.
Welcome back. Alright, for those of you who don't know me, I'm Abha. I'm one of the Timebank coordinators, and I've lived in the Bay 5 years, moved from Auckland, family's from India, born in Kenya, and this is Mazarine. I think everyone knows Mazarine. I just wanted to open up with a bit of continuity from the doco that we just watched. I think for me what stood out in that was the passion that David Attenborough has and the emphasis on action that he put towards what we can do as a community. And for me, that's the potential that lies here with Mohua Timebank. This is a way for us to take action here locally within a concept that exists internationally. Is everyone familiar with Timebank? Anyone not so familiar?
Me.
Oh, cool. Okay, so
We can speak about that.
we'll get to that.
Yeah.
We'll explain more of the concept in general. But Miles and I have been working together now from the beginning of this year. We met at a Timebank workshop last year, and it's been a journey. There's been some changes that have happened over that time, and now we're starting a new chapter. Here we are. And we're still operating under the umbrella of Mohua 2042. So I just want to give a shout out to Debbie, who's here. Debbie's the chairperson, and Mohua 2042 does incredible work in the sustainability sector of development locally, with a vision for what that can look like over time. And so we fit under that as Mohua Timebank quite nicely, and we've received a lot of support from them and continue to. So definitely want to acknowledge them and highlight that we want to co-create this new chapter together. So there's different ways to do it, and we'll get into that. But now,
We did not prep this at all. I put up the slides this morning. So we've actually written up a survey, and Abha and I have got together and really took some time to think of the kind of questions that we want to ask the community, so that your feedback can actually help us implement this next phase. And we really want to co-create this, and instead of us assuming what people's needs are in the wider community, we're genuinely asking for your feedback. So we put out a survey to a group of people, and we got 13 responses, but that's hopefully going to grow. And this is the amount of people that say that yes, they do currently exchange skills or help others in the community using non-monetary means. So it's really exciting to see that there is a real want for this in the community. Oh, no, yeah. And so here what draws people to Timebank is they really want to build community, and you can't have community without people. And this is what we're really realizing, is that yes, we want to bring this to life, but we want to be intentional with who we invite into this Timebank concept, so that it has a real strong core foundation to kind of grow together and evolve. And then here we can see what are the categories that people are most likely to offer. Community events. So this thing. And yeah, just creative culture, family support and caregiving. So this is really exciting. This is going to be the categories that we're going to cover in the future. So we're just kind of gathering information from people of what people's needs are, and yeah, it's really helping us to get a bigger understanding of the wider community for the next chapter.
and I'll just speak to local resilience real quickly.
Mm.
So the overall Timebank concept is a way for us to share our skills and services that come naturally to us, that are easy for us, on an hour-to-hour basis. So 1 hour is equal to 1 hour regardless of what the skill and service is. And that allows us to step outside of the monetary system and function as an alternative, not as a complementary system, not necessarily an alternative system. But it does mean that we can enhance resilience, because then we know who does what, we know where we need to go for what kind of input if we really need it. And what I mean by that is the example of Christchurch after the earthquakes. Timebank was a huge part of rebuilding the community and supporting the development of the community after the earthquakes, when people were left in devastation. So not only can that be useful in those kind of disaster situations, but also just in enhancing our day-to-day community life.
Which is why we really believe that the time is now. You know, we can keep waiting, we can keep planning, but I think that we've really just come to the point where we want to bring this into the community, and we want to take action, and we want to start exchanging. So yeah, that brings us to the next slide.
So the values that we have brought to life and want to continue to bring to life are things that I think can speak to everyone in different ways. Inclusivity. The idea of this is that anyone can participate. So even young people can participate. There's no age limit on it. If you are young, then parental support and guidance is obviously necessary. Reciprocity, it's about giving and taking, so the system kind of gets imbalanced if there's lots of people giving and not enough people receiving, and vice versa. So we want everyone to understand the giving and the receiving, and we'll do a little exercise in that soon. Transparency, that's just being transparent, and like also redefining this idea that a lot of our current system values economic input and output, and a lot of the work that goes into home and community in that whole civic sector goes unnoticed, unvalued and unpaid. And so Timebank as an international concept brings that aspect to the forefront as being valuable. So it's not saying that everything's working fine and we need the system, but actually we really need the system if we want things to change in how we operate.
Yeah, and the last one is collaboration. So that's all you guys. Like, we want to collaborate with you to bring this to life. And it kind of can't work without active participation. And this is really like our next focus, is intentionally inviting people and making this happen and starting exchanges and sharing of time credits and everything like that. So that brings us to the next slide.
We skip respect, but that's
being
a good human.
We don't.
Being a good human. Don't skip that out.
This is my favourite slide. It brings us to the coconut model. So Abha and I got together and we said that we wanted to kind of bring a business model into this Timebank, and none of the ones that were available really aligned with us. And so we thought, let's create our own one. So here we have the coconut model. So in the middle we have the coordinators, so that's us. We establish and operate the Timebank for the community. And then the flesh, the coconut, we're the liquid, or the water, and the coconut flesh is the collaborators. So
flexible.
Yeah, the flexible. So you guys support us as a Timebank as a whole. So how do we explain it? These collaborators who exchange with us directly, they can help us like co-create events and co-create, endless possibilities of what we can do. In terms of if we need help for making a newsletter, or if there's any sort of thing that we don't have the capacity for or not able to cover, then that's where we're going to ask help for the collaborators, and really making this happen. So no one feels burnt out and everyone feels valued, and they're also contributing to something that's bigger than themselves and can really create an awesome,
overflow effect. Yeah, and collaborators also get time credits in exchange. So it's not a volunteer-based thing.
Yeah.
There's always an exchange and reciprocity.
Yeah. So we wanted to change the identity of volunteering. You don't just show up and do the work. It's like, hey, let's collaborate, and you're not on your own. You're going to get time credits. We want to support you, and we want to make this fun. And then the shell, we've got the community, which is the people that participate in time exchanges and in local gatherings. So that's just kind of the wider community that are also doing exchanges, but not directly exchanging with us.
Yeah, makes sense.
Cool.
Great.
Why do you guys keep winking at me?
I spoke to this already a little bit with Hour for Hour, and the way that it works is a digital system where there's nothing being exchanged in hand, but it's all done online. So you jump on the system and you log your exchange, and so it will be like, I helped someone with babysitting, and then I log that in, and the person who received the babysitting logs that in, and then I will get a time credit for that exchange. So everything is done digitally and online at this point. It's a system that we have received from the international network, which is free and open source, and so it's just a really easy place for us to start.
Yeah.
And
this speaks to kind of Mohua Timebank. We needed to come up with a motto, is that the word? Slogan. Yeah. And we were brainstorming many different phrases and all, and then we came up with share what you can, receive what you need, and that just really landed. It really speaks to like sharing at your capacity, and our capacity changes and everybody's capacity is different. So when you log in, and it's kind of like a notice board, you've got offers and requests, you can actually be like, yeah, this is a request I can help with, or be like, nah, I don't have the capacity for that. And that's fine. So it means that if you're accepting a request, there's like a real yes, and that you want to do that, and you're excited for that. So there's no
obligation.
Thank you. There's no obligation. It's just, yeah, really what you feel like you can contribute. Lots of words. We're just going to simplify it. So once you learn and understand Timebank and you're sharing your interest that you want to join, I've done words lots tonight.
My turn to words. Okay. So there's a bit of a process to sign up. You can fill out an application form online that gets you into the system. And then to onboard, we want to bring everyone together at regular events. So we're going to have a big launch party at some point. Come to a launch party, and that's the signing of an agreement, the accepting into the system, and then everyone gets 2 credits to start off with. So there's just a little bit of process, but the first thing to do is just to fill out a form online.
Yeah.
So in wanting to make the model as sustainable as possible, we're inviting membership fee. We're asking for a membership fee for everyone who joins to contribute annually between $25 and $35. And that goes into all of the venue hire, the refreshments, the printing, just to sustain the Timebank. And we've calculated that once we have 100 people who are contributing a membership fee, that aspect of the system can be self-sustaining.
Yeah.
And so we don't have to reach outside of that.
Yeah. And also we know that $25 to $35 might be a stretch for some people, so we do have the option for people to pay $2.50 a month, which is really cool, because then we might have travellers that are here for 3 months, and instead of them paying the full price, they can just contribute $2.50 a month. So it makes it affordable for everyone.
There will be slides I haven't seen. She's like, speak to him. So I
had to like wear so many different hats tonight and be like, oh yeah, okay, I'm doing this speech and this.
So the easiest thing to do is find us on Facebook and have a look into what Timebank is. If it resonates with you, if you want to be part of it, connect with us. There's a survey that's also available on our Facebook page. You can scan the QR code, get straight onto it. You can sign up to a newsletter, also through our Facebook page. That's kind of the go-to at the moment. It's just keep updated and follow us through that.
And I guess the biggest thing is the onboarding for people to join Timebank is that everybody goes through the same process. So there's not just because you're my friend, you get to access the system. There's a process that we have an in-person session, we sit down, and then one of us will walk you through the system and get you signed up and then get the exchanges happening. So I guess that's kind of our biggest call out.
Yeah. There's also a chance there to help support anyone with figuring out what it is that they might want to offer, because that can be a difficult barrier for some of us. I don't know what to offer, but we can sit down together, and it's once we get categories in front and kind of a breakdown of subcategories, it's a lot easier to think about things that can be really useful to someone else that we might not usually consider. And so at the moment we're actively looking for collaborators. So that is anyone who wants to be part of making the time bank work in exchange of time credits. So that takes a small level of commitment depending on what you can offer and what your skills are. So if you could write a newsletter every couple of weeks or every month and do that consistently, then you can express that interest and become a collaborator and receive credits for that offer in exchange. So yeah, keep that in mind, and also share that with your networks, because we need a strong group of people to carry it forward. So it's not just relying on the coordinators.
This is also hugely based on trust, and there's a lot of like safety kind of precautions around it. And so if we have a strong community and core group of people from the beginning, then that culture just kind of
ripples out too.
Yeah, it ripples out. I think the easiest way, if you are interested or if you want to know more information, is probably just to send us an email, because we know that Facebook or whatever aligns with you. So email is just really clear, really simple. You would just either send us an email, hey, I'm interested, cool, we can start you in the process. And the email is timebank.mohua@gmail.com. We're going to have a table downstairs as well with the banner and information sheets and stuff, so you're welcome to read over it in your own time.
Awesome. That's it?
Yeah, who would be keen? Put your hand up. Yeah, nice.
Should we do a little activity?
Yeah, Abha's got a little activity to kind of just get some movement happening in the space. And then after that, we're going to transition downstairs, because Kelly has so subtly set up downstairs for music performances. So that's going to be the next kind of shift into the rest of the night. Is that evening? Yeah?
Yeah.
Oh, cool. Nice. Okay. Thanks, guys. Thanks for listening.
Is everyone up for like a fun?
This is what there's another Mohua Timebank up there. This is the right one. Follow this one with this beautiful Pains Forward photo taken by me. We currently have 26 followers, so we're just needing the momentum to kind of bring people together, and yeah, I'm really excited. I'm really excited for this. So yeah.
Okay, is everyone filling up for a 5-minute activity to experience?
Yeah, we are.
Yeah? Okay. So I'm going to name off some categories, and while I'm doing it, just think about your day-to-day and think about something that you could practically require. So think about a need you might have in any of these categories, and then we'll go on to the second part.
Nice.
Actually, can we flip back to the categories? Because we have it written down.
Do we?
Yeah. That's it. Okay, let's have a look at the categories. As I read them out, they're written down here. So we've got community and events, creative and culture, family support and caregiving, food and cooking, home and garden, learning and education, practical help, tech and admin support, transport and errands, or well-being support.